Hey friend, welcome to my podcast, The Fit Soul. I'm your host, Amy Ramsey. In this podcast, we will be discussing soul-filled strategies to unleash your confidence, increase your energy, and all the things healthy lifestyle. If you're a Christian woman who is ready to reach your God-given potential, walk worthy of your calling with abundant joy and energy, girlfriend, you are in the right spot. I mean, you only have one life to live. You might as well maximize it. Buckle in, and thanks for listening. Hello, and welcome back to the Fit Soul Podcast. Or if you're a first timer here, welcome. I'm so excited that you have found this podcast. You know, it's really interesting. I have conversations in my Instagram DMs, or people book discovery calls with me, or they land on my email list or in my Facebook group, and they're like, oh my gosh, this was exactly what I needed at this time in my life. And I'm like, well, of course it is, because I've been praying for you. So if you've made it here and you're like, I don't know how I made it here, but this is so great, I just want to say that I've been praying for you, that I literally pray that God would bring women from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west, that need this level of faith-based encouragement, an integrative approach to their health, and how to have tangible frameworks, tools, strategies to move you forward. And so I'm honored that you're here and that you come back. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today's topic is, I think, one that's probably going to resonate with a lot of us. And it's that midlife, that post 40 and beyond weight gain. And how that can become the new normal. And what I want to share with you is that it does not have to be. I want to give you 5 tips to help get you moving in the right direction. So you might, there we go. It sounds like a Texas accent came out there. I'm not from Texas. I'm actually originally from Louisiana and Mississippi. I have lived in Texas, and they say, might like. Okay. All right. I'm back. Little squirrel moment. Okay. But I do have 5 solid tips for you today. In fact, I'm super excited to host another Midlife Metabolism Reset, 30 days where you'll work together with me, with my tools, with my team, with community to help get you back on track. We start on September the 6th, and depending on when you're listening to this, the doors will be opening soon. It's on a wait list right now, and the doors will be opening soon. So you don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. It will be 30 days that could change your life. I did this I built this program because I needed it. I was stuck in a start-stop cycle and not making true progress and not holding myself to a high enough account. And I pulled together all the resources that I know women need, and men actually on this one, where it's an integrative approach to health, from nutrition, from moving your body, and stress management. So all that to say, you can check the show notes for that. If the wait list is still open, get on it. If the doors are open, you better join fast. It will sell out, and you don't want to miss out. These 30 days could really help you out. Okay, so before I get to the top 5 tips, or my 5 tips that I want to share with you today, I want to share with just a little heartwarming story. So my mom's birthday is actually yesterday, August the 19th, from the time this will go live. And as I'm recording it, it's actually today. So happy birthday, Mom, if you're listening. And she and I did a girls' trip this weekend to celebrate her birthday. It was so much fun. It was something that I had been wanting to do for several years. And sometimes you can want to do something and you really think about it and then you forget about it. And then you think about it again and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. And I've been in that little cycle for years I want to take my mom up to the Peabody in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, if you've never been to the Peabody in Memphis, Tennessee, it's so, so, so cute. Every year we go and we stay there around Christmas time because I'm a St. Jude hero, which means that I commit to a certain level of fundraising for the St. Jude Marathon weekend. And we stay at the Peabody. It is such a treat. And my very favorite restaurant in the entire world is Flight. So shout out to Flight in Memphis, Tennessee. It's definitely a splurge, and it's absolutely, if you're a foodie, it is like, to me, it's a little flight of heaven, if you will. Because for appetizers, for entrees, for dessert, you can order 3, like a flight. You get to pick what you want. And oh my gosh, it's like it is my favorite place to go. The food is unbelievably exceptional, but a little bite of everything that you can imagine to eat that you want. Oh, heaven on earth. Okay. I digress. I wanted to take her to Flight, and then she's never been to Oxford, Mississippi. So we had our little girls trip and we stayed the whole weekend. She came and stayed with me here in Jackson. She lives in Monroe, Louisiana. On Thursday night, we got up on Friday morning early and left and went up there and did our thing in Memphis. And then we left Memphis Saturday morning, went to Oxford, spent the entire day there and came back, and then she stayed with me. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful time. I just want to remind you how important it is to live a life of intention and do those things that you think about, that you have great ideas about. I want to encourage you to go ahead and execute on them, because we just are not promised tomorrow. None of us are. And I don't want to live with regrets, and I know you don't either. So I hope my little heartwarming story maybe encourages you to go forth and take some action. All right, let's get to the meat of what I wanted to share with you today. It's 5 essential steps to revitalize your metabolism and get you back to feeling vibrant. Here's what I don't want for you. I don't want for you to, if you have extra weight on you, that this is your new normal and somehow you've accepted it and you're settling. It is so easy to allow that to happen, because if you've tried to diet and exercise and you've tried things and they don't work, it feels discouraging. And then the reality of the situation is, and I don't mean this despairingly, it's just the reality, it's the truth. 71% of Americans are overweight and obese. So if we look around to what is quote unquote normal, that's what we see. And it's that the slight bit of people who are not overweight in midlife and beyond. That's what I want you to focus on. What I want to share with you is that is possible for you. And I don't care if you've struggled with your weight your entire life. But one thing we know is that we have to really focus on our metabolism and get that healthy. This is a process, an integrative process, an integrative approach. And it's going to include the way that you think about things. It's going to include your mindset. It's going to include your emotions, how you deal with your stress. It includes what you're eating. And you know what? Let me just go ahead and start with a little bit of a challenge. I've been in this space for 25 years. And one thing has been very, very consistent over the 25 years. A lot of people think they eat healthy and they don't. So you might be thinking, oh, I eat healthy. Sister, you might not be. I mean, I'm just going to call it out. Have you had somebody take a look at your nutrition and what it looks like? Here's what I know. Everybody can up-level and optimize their nutrition. Everybody can up-level and optimize their mindset and their healthy habits and how they're addressing their stress. And at our stage and age in life, we have a lot of really unique, complex stressors. And we have to address that aspect of our lives. Okay, so the first tip that I want to share with you so you can get your metabolism back and get to feeling vibrant is I want you to focus on the good stuff. Instead of focusing on what to avoid and thinking about what you can't have, think about what you can have. So for nutrition, adding those lean proteins in, really making strides in hitting your protein goals. I'm telling you, that's going to change so much for your nutrition. It's powerful. It's powerful. Focusing on the healthy things that you can have. Fruits and vegetables and how beautiful they are and how these nutrients give you the energy that you need and start to help balance out what you're craving. Here's the deal. What you focus on grows. And if you focus on what you can't have, I can't have this. I can't have, I'm just going to say what I always say, I can't have the chocolate chip cookie. If I focus on, I can't have the chocolate chip cookie, I can't have a cookie, what am I going to want? What am I going to be thinking about all the time? I'm going to be thinking about that all the time. And I really do believe that if we start to think about abundance and just that mindset of abundance and a growth mindset over what can I have, oh my goodness, I can have so much. And you know what? I can have the cookie occasionally. But if I choose to have that cookie every day, I will not reach my goals. Okay, so tip number 1 is to focus on the good stuff. Psychologically, this will improve your relationship with food, improve your relationship with exercise and training your body, and help you implement stress management techniques because you see it as something good and healthy for you. And also in this, I say this a lot, is honor the struggle. When we honor the struggle with a healthy mindset and a healthy perspective, it helps us to go, okay, let me keep going. Let me do this. Like this is just part of my process to improve and to become better. So we focus on the struggle even as something good because we know that we can't change if we stay where we are. But if we know that it's going to be hard to implement new healthy habits because the reality is we've conditioned our minds towards emotional eating. We've conditioned our minds to sugar addiction. In our bodies physiologically to sugar. We've conditioned ourselves to comfort. And so when we step out of that comfort, it's a struggle. And if we can learn to honor that struggle as good, this is a good thing. I need to do hard things. It does so much. Okay, I'm not going to, you have no idea how I want to take like a little bunny rabbit trail and go off, but I'm not going to do that. Maybe I'll come back and do another podcast on this right away. But what I want to share with you is this, just real quickly. Epigenetics shows that when we actually take that perspective, that mindset, that it unlocks dormant parts of our potential. So here's the thing, check it out. As you're on your way to improving your health and you're focusing on the good stuff, and you even focus on that struggle, that honoring the hard, like doing the hard thing. In fact, I want to encourage you to do something hard every single day. That you're going to unlock dormant pieces of your DNA and it actually unleashes more of your potential. Come on now. That's some good stuff right there. Like that motivates me. That fires me up. I hope that fires you up. All right. We're going to get to tip number 2. Number 2, get to the root cause. Slow metabolism and midlife gain isn't just about what you eat. Back this spring, I was really feeling frustrated and stuck with my weight. It was up and I was in this cycle of start and stop, wanting a change, but not really putting in the effort that I needed to put in, and I wasn't consistent and I knew it. And I had decided to call BS on myself. I knew what I needed to do. I needed to challenge myself. I needed to hold myself at a higher account. So long story short, I created a 30-day metabolism reset challenge in June. I opened it up to some friends. We all had massive success. I lost 9 pounds. I got back on my A game and it felt amazing, and others had massive success. It was so successful that I'm going to be hosting another one. And if you are feeling stuck and you need to get the right habits back in place to get back on track with your nutrition, stress management, all the things, then join me for this Midlife Metabolism Reset. You can join the wait list. I do expect that it will sell out immediately, so you'll want to get on the wait list and join as soon as it opens up. And in some ways we kind of know that, but then I don't think we can understand how much your stress is impacting your weight gain. I work with clients. I work with them a lot. And sometimes they dial their nutrition in like they're supposed to, and they're moving their body, and they're really starting to create consistency around that. But they're still not dealing with their stress as aggressively as they need to deal with their stress. And what happens when we stress? We have unhealthy triggers. We get triggered and then we have unhealthy responses. We go and we're feeling stressed out and we're standing in the pantry. We're feeling stressed out, and instead of going for the walk or instead of exercising that we know we need to be doing, we're watching TV or scrolling on social media. We're feeling stressed out and we go shopping. We're feeling stressed out, we grab the glass of wine. So we have these unhealthy coping mechanisms. And the reality is it's time to get to the root cause. When I finally learned this, and if you can learn something from my mistakes, I hope that maybe I could shorten the learning curve. I've been fortunate that I've stayed on top of my health for a long, long time. I've mastered different aspects of my health, nutrition and exercise and mindset and some of these things. But my stress, I was not mastering my stress. And for me, one of the things that I do that's an unhealthy coping mechanism is I'll just keep working. Like, I love my work. I love my job. And when you're an entrepreneur, and all the entrepreneurs they'll be like, oh yeah, girl, she's preaching the truth right now. It can never end when you're a solopreneur. There's always something to do. When you're a content creator, there's always something to do. Always. And so that cycle is where I'll go. If I'm feeling stressed, if I'm feeling, and I can go to my phone, to my computer and go to work. That's unhealthy. Our bodies need rhythms of rest and recovery. So all that to say, I recently had to take a journey and regroup on the way that I was dealing with my emotions and my emotional responses. And I had to get to the root cause. Oh, it was so much freedom on the other side. I cannot encourage you enough to take that journey. I know it's going to require courage on your end, but wow, to create a habit loop now to where when I feel stress, my body wants to go for a walk or to sit and process instead of avoiding, dismissing, eating, drinking. It's possible. All right. Number three. You need community. I believe this. You do not have to do this alone. It is very difficult to do alone. Well, for a lot of reasons. But namely, you don't have anybody holding you accountable. Your friends will not hold you accountable. Your partner or spouse will not really hold you accountable. They want a good relationship with you. And oftentimes, you need an extra layer or that layer of community to keep you going, to cheer you on. Again, this is one of the reasons why I created the 30-day Midlife and Beyond Metabolism Reset, was because I needed community. I wanted to do this with other people. I wanted the challenge. I didn't want to keep starting and stopping because that's what I was doing. And if that's what you are doing, starting, stopping, I'm going to start again on Monday. By Tuesday, you're done. I'm going to start again first of the month. And you don't really hold yourself You're not doing it. You're not consistent. You're not creating consistency. Let me ask you this. If you are not moving the needle forward in this area in your life, I'm going to highly, highly encourage you to join the 30-day reset. You need community, and you need somebody to champion you. You need somebody to cheer you on. That's what I'll do. I'm going to be the coach in there. I will be cheering the heck out of you, but I'll also be challenging you. I'm going to help you with all of the things that come up, like all of your excuses. You know you got them. Oh, I'm busy. Oh, I can't afford it. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. Newsflash, those are all excuses. It's time to let those go because they're not serving you. Okay. Oh, I'm feeling sassy today. All right. Number four. It's the fourth reason to get to the root, to get to a healthy metabolism is ditch perfectionism. All or nothing mindset. I believe all or nothing mindset is the number one mindset that is holding you back. Wow, there is so much freedom when you ditch perfectionism. Oh, I can't even begin to tell you. This is a process, my friend, and for all of my perfectionistic friends, I'm a recovering perfectionist. I'm a recovering one. And the more I lean into sufficing and still showing up with excellence, but not demanding perfection because it's just impossible, but demanding excellence of myself. Very, very different mindsets. There is one perfect one. His name is Jesus. It is not me. It is not you. We will never be there. And there's so much wrapped around all or nothing thinking. What do other people think? And approval of men. There's so much wrapped in here. I need to do I'm going to do another podcast on healthy mindsets for a healthy metabolism. And this will be part of the coaching that I do in that Midlife Metabolism Reset. We will have group coaching every week, and I will be addressing these things in there. But I just want you to know the power of letting this go will not just impact your weight. It'll be a freedom for your life. You'll reclaim part of your time back when you understand your priorities and you operate in that capacity. But when it comes to the all or nothing with nutrition, and I've got to do it all this way, or then forget about it. Most of you don't have the long game in mind. You want a quick fix. We get a quick fix of everything in life these days. And your health and wellness is a long-term strategy. It is long game in mind. And if you don't get the quick results, then you revert right back to your old patterns of behavior. And that all or nothing is killing your progress. Oh, so please focus on making small positive changes. Okay, number 5, the last one. Build lasting habits. Kind of building on that all or nothing. The focus is long-term lasting habits, sustainable habits. Quick fixes are so tempting, but real change comes from building habits to support yourself, to set you up for long-term success. And understanding the actual science behind like a habit loop formation, understanding that process, it's about creating a loop. And so one of the things that I want to help you with on this podcast and all of my clients that work with me one-on-one and in my Walk-Worthy mentorship, and I'll definitely be hammering this home in that Midlife Metabolism Reset, specifically for the fat loss part, is when we focus on creating loops in our mind, the success loop, a habit loop. So there's a couple of different ways that you can look at it, but just to kind of keep it short for today is that when you understand you have a trigger, you have a behavior, you have a reward. It's impossible to build a solid habit loop without identifying your triggers and then deciding what behavior you're going to do and then it lead to the reward. So just kind of to break that down, to make an example. So you have a trigger. Okay, I feel super stressed at the end of the day. It's 5 o'clock. I'm super stressed. You have a behavior. I go straight to my pantry and I start eating because I'm stressed. Or I go and grab the glass of wine or alcohol to relieve the stress. And then the reward is that the stress is relieved. And then it creates this loop. I feel stress. I grab food. I feel relief. I feel stressed. I grab food. I feel relief. Do you see what I'm saying? So now this is a habit loop. Your body physiologically feels the stress. And you've conditioned yourself to go grab the food. And then that's the reward because there's a dopamine burst when we have food, right? So we have to shift that. So here's my loop at the end of the day when I feel stress. And that used to be my loop before, by the way. I had to break it. And again, it's going to require you to get uncomfortable and to honor the struggle. I feel stress. I grab food, stand in the pantry, and then I feel the reward. Now, my whole healthy cycle, and I built a loop around this. I feel stress. I grab my walking shoes. I go for a walk. I listen to a guided biblical meditation. That's what I started at first. Now I may or may not listen to anything because it's now a loop. And the reward is the temptation passed. And now I have a healthy way to deal with my stress instead of emotionally eating. There's a lot to unpack in all of this. And I feel like I'm just kind of like opening a Pandora's box. But let me recap what we talked about, and I really want to help you further, deeper with this, but I'm going to need you to come join my reset so we can really get in there and make some differences. Number 1 is focus on the good stuff. Number 2, get to the root cause. Number 3, you need community, period, the end. Number 4, ditch perfectionism. And number 5 is build lasting habits. Build lasting habits. All right, so I will be hosting that 30-day Midlife Metabolism Reset. I'm going to bring you through a list. I've got a habit tracking app. We're all going to use it. We're going to do it as a challenge with group coaching from me. And there'll be a leaderboard. You will be motivated to go and do the healthy habits. Sustainable healthy habits. I built this program based on what we need at this age, at this stage, to deal with our nutrition, to get it on point, to optimize it. So you're empowered to know what to eat for yourself. Everybody's a little bit differently, and you need to understand how you need to handle your nutrition. I've built this also to get you moving. If you're already moving a bunch and exercising, you're gold. But if you're not, this will get you moving again. And you know you want that, right? And then also stress management, healthy stress management strategies will be implemented in here with encouragement, with support, and with a challenge. You will get me to coach you and to call you higher than your excuses, but you get to do it with other people. The power of community is just huge. So I'm really excited about this. You can check the show notes. I would join ASAP. It will sell out, and you want to be in this room. You want to put yourself in this place if you want to move forward and if you're ready to get out of status quo. And like I started with, don't let what may be considered your new normal be your new normal. Shake it up. Shake it up. Let's get you out of that, because I promise you, it's so much is possible when you really get laser focused. So we're going to get past the summer vacation months and before we head into the holidays and give it a solid good, give that metabolism a reset and set you up for success for the end of the year. You know, a lot of times kind of you hit this time of the year and you think to yourself, oh, well, I didn't reach my goals that I had set for myself for the year. And, you know, it just is what it is. And we settle. There's more in the gas tank than that. Please pursue excellence in what you do. you're going to feel better about yourself. I mean, that's one of the ways that you regain your self-confidence, is that you prove to yourself that you can do it and that you can keep your word to yourself. How important is that we honor our integrity? We wouldn't tell anybody else anything and not do it, right? We're going to honor our integrity. But then when it comes to ourselves, we're just flippant about it. And the problem is, here's the problem. The problem is that you actually start to condition your brain to not believe what you're going to say. And it becomes that habit loop. So let's disrupt it. Let's disrupt what is less than God's best for you. He wants you thriving, but you got to do your part on your body and your mindset. You have to do that work. That's on you, sis. And I want to help you with that. Okay, well, I was kind of feeling sassy today. I hope this challenged you, but encouraged you. And I would love it if you would share this podcast. And I hope you have an amazing, remarkable day. Remember, today is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. God has given you breath for this day. That means He wants you here. So let's go maximize today. Make today count. Bring your best self. Like realign, recalibrate to the highest version of everything that God has called you to be, uniquely you. Recalibrate to her, to Him. All right. I will see y'all next time. Have an amazing day. Girlfriend, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm so honored you come back every week and that you share the Fit Soul podcast with your friends and family. Every time you share my podcast on Instagram or Facebook, I do a little happy dance. Make sure you subscribe to the Fit Soul podcast where you'll never miss an episode. You can go to Podcast, Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify and subscribe so you'll never miss an episode release. And just know, I truly love bringing you excellent content and great guests to provide you motivation and faith inspiration to help you walk worthy. And one of the ways you can help me is to go and leave the Fit Soul podcast a review. If you have just a moment, would you please go over and leave a review for the Fit Soul podcast? Thank you again. I love you. And here is your reminder. You are worthy. Until next time. Bye-bye.